Violence and chaos erupts here at the UCLA campus overnight as tensions persist here and the encampment is still here. We are going to show you video of what happened here in the early morning hours and where things stand this morning. That's next.
Good morning, I'm Eric Spielman in for Frank Buckley. Summer is officially around the corner and scientists say it is going to be a hot one. We'll explain.
Go. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to San Rico. This is one of 3 restaurant concepts by one Mexican Michelin star-rated chef. Coming up, we're going to get all the food and beverage. Olivier, salute to you. Stick with us.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. Most employers now requiring their workers to come back to the office, but if you don't want to, plenty of options for well-paid remote gigs. We're going to tell you about that coming up.
Good morning, I'm Sam Rubin. New here at 8 o'clock, handsome hunk Harry Jowsey from Too Hot to Handle says he has tips for being the perfect boyfriend. Well, we'll see when he joins us live. Plus, Fall Guy has a massive premiere in Hollywood. Stuntmen, Beavis and Butthead, lots of stuff to enjoy. We'll show a lot of it to you coming up.
Well, I saw some clips of that premiere, and it was great. Really setting the bar on the red carpet sort of action. Here we go with the clouds and from the Mount Wilson shot. Sky's going to be clearing through this morning through this afternoon. 67 will be the daytime high. The beaches downtown Los Angeles, 73. Up to 80 in the San Fernando Valley. High Desert, 80. Inland Empire, 79. Orange County Inland at about 73 degrees. Ginger with traffic.
Yeah, and it's great that finally stunt people are kind of, getting recognition and being a little bit more in the spotlight. So can't wait for that to see that movie. Let's talk about your ride this morning because we have just now one outstanding signal alert. But because they're saying it's police activity, 10 westbound side at Santa Anita Avenue, those 3 right lanes are now closed. The closure could go until about 8:30, give or take, and the slow ride is here. Eastbound side, maybe people can see what's going on and the reason they're starting to load up as well. 5 freeway heading south of the 405. We were talking about the stretch, not in Orange County, but the one in the San Fernando Mission areas. So that wreck is now sitting in the middle lanes. It's 2 cars. I like taking San Fernando Road and Glen Oaks as alternates, not Laurel Canyon at this time, okay? Your plans take you to Long Beach Airport, 405 South, right about Lakewood Boulevard. Get ready, that slow drive is with us, and it's partly because the crash with 3 cars, and now they're saying sitting in the left lane. So if you do have plans to head to Long Beach Airport, you're going to be sitting in some delays, whether you're heading north or south. We'll watch and keep our eyes on all the things that are popping up, making a mess of your Wednesday morning commute. I'll send it over to you guys.
Breaking news from Westwood. It is a much calmer morning on the campus of UCLA, but it was a different scene overnight when violence broke out at the site of a pro-Palestinian encampment. Dueling groups of protesters knocked down metal barricades and got into fights with each other. Some in the crowd used bear spray as fireworks exploded nearby. There's now a heavy police presence on campus. Protesters are saying they're not moving despite the university declaring the encampment unlawful. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live in Westwood this morning. Good morning, Annie Rose.
Hey, Eric, good morning to you, and you're exactly right. A very different scene here late last night where things were described as chaotic, tense, and even feeling with a sense of lawlessness. I'm getting that description all from students who heard the chaos last night from their dorm rooms, from their apartments, and came out to watch it unfold in front of their eyes. They say at one point that violence going on with the bear spray, pepper spray, people just fighting amongst each other, using any sort of weapon that they can. Now, I'm standing in front of the pro-Palestinian encampment. As you mentioned, they are not going anywhere, and that is what we are hearing echoed from them this morning. There are roughly hundreds of students inside of there, but what happened late last night was there were counter protesters who showed up, and you're looking at those barriers there, right? So there's plywood, there's metal barriers, all of that barricaded that encampment in. Well, those counter protesters showing up yesterday and started taking apart those pieces. And KTLA was here as those moments were unfolding. My fellow reporter, John Fenolio, there covering it all. Take a look.
Someone just threw some sort of explosive or firework. Okay, just a firework. Oh my God. Go, we're out of here. Tell them we're out of here. Hey guys, we gotta go. Now, if you look over to our right, we see pepper spray. I don't know if that's police or protesters, but someone is spraying pepper spray. More people are running out of the encampment now. That definitely looks like bear spray. Now, what happened to this person? What happened to him? What happened to this guy?
The violence really getting going at around 11 last night. Clashes between pro-Palestinian and counter-protesters. People beating, hitting each other with sticks, fighting for hours before police intervened. At times, protesters breaking apart the metal barricades and using those pieces as weapons. The violence erupting because counter-protesters surrounded that pro-Palestinian encampment and tried to take it apart, pulling off some of the barriers. Fireworks were seen being thrown inside. Those counter-protesters there were about 50 to 60, and notably many were adult men, so not students, which is different from the people that make up the encampment, which is made up mostly of students. Here's one of those students who was involved in the scuffle last night. Listen.
A group rushed the encampment and they tried to take away one of these metal things from the encampment, and I held on to it. They dragged me into a circle of about 7 or 8 of them, and they started whipping me on the back with sticks. They threw a rock at my eye. They pepper sprayed me, but luckily the pepper spray didn't get directly in my eye. They slashed my arm and they got a deep cut. I can show you that if you want. And then when I was walking back, because I've been pepper sprayed and beaten by a group of 6 counter-protesters, they threw a hammer at my leg.
All right, Eric and Jess, we want to give you an idea of where things stand this morning. Over there, you can see the law enforcement deputies in the tan shirts, green pants. Those are the sheriff's deputies that are here, but they're not alone. Over behind, our photographer Ed Almonte is going to walk a little bit over here with us. We also have private security staff on here. We have university security. We have LAPD officers, and we have the CHP. Because this is a state school, we saw CHP, especially last night, really leading that force in terms of setting up a perimeter and getting everybody out of this quad area. We're standing next to the library. We're standing next to Royce Hall. These are buildings that are going to be closed for the next couple of days because of what is going on here. And as far as that encampment that we were standing right next to goes, the encampment organizers in the past couple of hours have just released a statement reinforcing that they were attacked last night, and they are now asking for things like water bottle, for things like medical aid in order to help those students who are inside that encampment. UCLA calling this an unlawful encampment, so we're going to wait and see exactly what happens in the coming hours. Reporting live, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Annie Rose, thank you. An investigation is underway at USC after a swastika was drawn on campus. In a social media post, University President Carol Folt says she condemns any form of hate speech against anyone. She says the swastika was clearly drawn to, quote, incite even more anger at a time that is so painful for our community, end quote. Yesterday, Folt met for a second time with organizers of the pro-Palestinian demonstration and says they seem more interested in having her issue a political statement supporting their views than with coming up with practical solutions. USC's main commencement ceremony remains canceled. However, 47 smaller graduation ceremonies will take place across campus later this month.
Meanwhile, later today, a group of May Day participants plan to march from MacArthur Park to USC to show solidarity with pro-Palestinian demonstrators on campus. May Day, also known as International Workers' Day. Today, various groups will be gathering to call for better wages, right to strike, housing opportunity, among other issues. A large rally will be held at 2 p.m. today at Sunset Boulevard and Gower in Hollywood. That group will then march over to Hollywood and Highland for a rally at 3 p.m. There's also a march set in Boyle Heights.
Well, we've had a lot of rain so far this year, but we could be in for another drought once summer arrives.
Yeah, forecasters with the National Weather Service say we should expect hotter than normal temperatures this summer. Experts say the El Nino climate phenomenon that brought us so much rain is rapidly fading. Once that's over, its counterpart, La Nina, will replace it. That's forecasted to bring extreme heat to the southwest part of the U.S. The Weather Service says that could also raise the possibility of drought.
And how often are they right?
Yeah. I mean, we can get a 7-day pretty close, but getting, like a full 4 or 5 months, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And, some people want to say the word drought because our water prices are going to be going up. So if we throw that at them, oh, drought, yeah. We've had 2 winters in a row with a lot of rain, so I don't know. And let's go to the weather forecast. And like I said, let's just stick to the 7-day, or even to the 1 day today. Clouds at the Mount Wilson.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. You got it. Clouds, they're going to clear out, and they're starting to pull off just a bit. You can just see a sliver right there. 62 at the moment. It's 1 degree warmer than it was yesterday at this time. And the winds calm in downtown Los Angeles. Almanac yesterday, 76. The average for this time of the year is 73 degrees. Record set 1996. For our wind advisory, that is supposed